Alrighty, so I said I'd make a longer update, so here we are. This is the patch behind me. A lot of new stuff has happened. I think the last time I made a long update was almost a month ago. So you can kind of you gotta see how big the patch is. Oh wow, it looks it looks really big from that angle. But let me flip the camera around and I'll show you some details. All right, so today's July, was it 23rd? I've got the camera on like this big extension arm, so I'm gonna see how far I can get this up to see if we can get a good overhead view. Yeah, let me know if that looked cool. But anyways, so let's start at the stump. We're gonna do like a full 360. I'm not gonna walk on this, but there was a bunch of weeds. You can see all the weeds growing back there and stuff. But you can see the stump in there. Stump health is pretty good. I trimmed these weeds. I think there's actually a mole in here or something because I'm so zoomed in. Sorry guys, bad video quality. There was a mole in here because there's like a bunch of empty spots that I squish in the ground. But anyways, so you can see a stump right there. Stump health is looking good. Secondaries are all coming that way. These right here, some tertiaries I'm growing out. That's terminated. That's gonna be terminated soon. I think 0.5 would be better actually. Well, not that quite. This is all terminated. You can see these are terminated right here. Now, I will admit one thing I've not been doing is vine burying, especially since these are in the grass. I kind of gave up after I got back from my trip a few weeks ago. Look how big these leaves are gonna get. I love the leaves at the end of the vines. There's a snake in there. So these are the secondaries, and then I grow out these tertiaries to fill in this empty space, which is something I did not do last year. So that's an improvement. So just walking around, here is the vine tip. The chickens are being loud. Here's the vine tip. The last pumpkin I had in right there aborted. So we have this one on the main. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like 40 secondaries behind it. However, this is not the one I'm going with. I think this is dab 3 or 4. We got another one that I pollinated yesterday. But over there is where I have a pumpkin finally set. This, quick disclaimer, this is an open pollination. So the bees did it, which is fine because my potential buyer is just gonna drop it off of a crane, so I won't need the seeds anyways. But here she is. Here's a basketball for size reference. And a Mountain Dew can. So let's see, let's take this off. Today is DAP 12? DAP 12, that sounds right. Might be DAP 13. What's today? 23rd, pollinated 12th. 24th? I don't know. DAP 12, I think. Yeah, today's the 24th, I think. DAP 12. What the heck is that? That's a fly. This was an open pollination. It's growing pretty fast. I'm a few days behind last year. But that's just because everything aborted. Got a fan on it. Blossom end is staying dry. Beautiful yellow color. Got it on this board yesterday. I did tape it, and it was taping 2 days ago. It was 18 pounds, and then 16, and then 30 hours later. No, 18 pounds, 30 hours later, it was 26 pounds. So it did 8 pounds in 30 hours. So I might tape it again today, so we'll see how it does. I got these pool noodles here because this vine, you can see how thick the main is in there, and then it's just this little secondary coming off. Again, I really need the vine berry, but whatever. I've got some in there that you can see. The weeds aren't horrible. They're a lot worse back towards the canopy. I pulled all around here, which is why it's dirt. But yeah, nice, beautiful round shape. I'm really liking this. Blocking the sun. Let me see if I can get a straight top down. Really long stem. Yeah, she's growing. Some nice veining on there, staying shiny. I'm hoping that the secondary doesn't like hold it back too much, because you can see in there how thick that main vine is. That's got to be 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches in some places thick. And then these little guys probably aren't even 1 inch thick, this secondary. But if you trace the secondary, it goes all the way up to here. The vine growth has significantly slowed. All secondary that come all the way back here. So that's the pumpkin. So far we seem to be keeping pretty good pace, on track with last year. The only reason I'm keeping this guy on the main as a backup is in case, well, first of all, something wrong happens. There's another backup right there. But if this like starts outpacing that, I'm gonna give it a few more days. But if this starts outpacing that, then we'll see. Because this is on the main vine, so it's the main highway. I don't know. I've been talking to ChatGPT. It says it won't impact it, but it says it'll probably cost a few £100. But hopefully she should start picking up right about now. Should hit what, 30-40 pounds today. We'll see. Rest of the plant, all these go under this tree right here, so these are all terminated. Look at the size of that frickin' tendril. My goodness. There's a tertiary in there. Just pick that off. Tertiary in here. Pick that off. So that's just what that's basically been my life. Again, growing out these tertiaries to fill in that space, and then I terminate it when it gets to the edge. Plant size, the original what I plowed was just under 1,000 square feet, and all of that has spilled over. All of this has spilled over, so I'd say we're probably, I want to say 1,100, probably 1,200 square feet, which good plant size. Starting to terminate. I will terminate these once they get long enough. So yeah. All right. Now for the questions that probably everybody else is answering this season. What am I feeding this thing? Where is it? There he is. Oh, it looks so small from this angle. What am I feeding this thing? What's my strategy? I'm obviously, that was a bad angle. Obviously on a secondary, so that is a little not my first choice. But I think I'm gonna vine bury the secondaries before and after, so just hopefully get some more roots. But what am I feeding? I've been pretty behind on feeding this year. I've got basically the same thing that I've been feeding for the last 3 years. I got Master Blend 41838. I do 2 teaspoons of that, and then calcium nitrate 1500. 2 teaspoons of that, and then a teaspoon of Epsom salts, and that's the recipe for 5 gallons of water. And then I'll basically just take a smaller bucket and like spoon it out across the plant. The only disadvantage to that is I really only am able to get like the main vine in the root zone. I use like AI for all my calculations because that's just what I've been going off of, but that's also what it says on the bag. Frequency, I think I've been doing it once a week, but now that I've got a pumpkin set and we've got the leaf cover that we need, I'm going to start pushing probably every few days, because that thing's going to go into cell division. Oh, I also have my AirPod in for better quality, so let me know if that worked. But yeah, so just doing that. I did have to go in with another round of merit because the squash bugs, I was finding eggs, cucumber beetles, they were all coming back. In the first batch I did, I kind of didn't do it directly, so it was like a less concentrated dose. But another thing so the worst thing that I've been dealing with is cucumber beetles. I've been finding squash bugs here and there, but it's really only on the leaves that are on the ground. And I posted a short about cleaning up some leaves that had fallen from wind on the ground, and that's where the bugs like to lay their eggs. Anyways, I'm rambling. So the cucumber beetles have been very bad. Every flower that opens is probably 3 to 5 beetles in each one. I've seen a couple on the vines, mainly the flowers and the blossom ends of pumpkins that I've set. Luckily the fan has kept them off of my keeper. However, apparently my dad showed me some like organic pesticide spray, and he brought out this sprayer. 2 things I didn't know we had. So I mixed up a batch of that, and then I sprayed my like smaller plant over in the other garden, which I will show you that in a second. And I think it worked pretty good. I tried it for the first time yesterday. I didn't want to spray this in case it burned it, but it's organic, so we sprayed that. So what I'm doing is I just dumped it in the flower, and like, because that's where they usually like to camp out, I do like a little spritz in the flower, and it seemed to work pretty well. Here, I'll turn the camera around. All right, so right in here you can see it's like a milky white liquid. You can see them floating in there, 1, 2, 3, and then I guess I got a fly as well. So I'm gonna keep it in there. It'll probably cause it to rot out, but that's okay. I should probably be taking off a lot more of these flowers, but it seems to be doing the job. So if I just do that in the morning, hopefully dump in the flowers. The bees, doesn't seem to affect the bees, which is really good. There's a couple more in there somewhere, but yeah, overall, it's looking pretty good. Here's some big leaves that have fallen, and if I lift this up, I'm very, oh, look at that, we got a dead cucumber beetle right there. Okay, that's a good sign. Let's see if there's any squash bug eggs down here. Not seeing any, but this whole leaf, those 3 vines, because when I was vine repositioning, oh, those weeds. Actually, let me play a clip from yesterday. I was going through trying to get some weeds out, and I just saw like a root system that I thought was really cool, so it's just a short 1-minute clip, so I'll play that now. So I'm literally in the middle of the plant right now, but I was just like trying to get some of these weeds that you can see in here out, and look at this. I probably shouldn't even be stepping here, but I was pulling some of these weeds, or at least like breaking the tops off, and just like look at all that just like network under the soil. Cucumber beetle. But it all comes, I can feel right here, there's a little root, but it goes that way, I think. So I don't know where these are coming from, but it might even be the weeds. I hope it's not. I think the cucumber beetles are living in this. But anyways, just look at all these white, I'm really hoping that's pumpkin, white roots. And to think that's all underneath like this whole area, this whole canopy. Ugh, so many weeds. But I think it's helping with the microbiology, so they don't seem to be causing too big of an issue. I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, I just thought that that root network was pretty cool. But here we are coming up to the garden, where I've got the 2227 Stelts. And as a reminder, my main plant way back over there that I've got the pumpkin on is the 1986 Turner. So here's the 2227 Stelts. Or is it the 2531? What? This is 2531. Sorry, 2531 Stelts. I think it's 31. Plant's a lot smaller. The only thing I can compare it to is if you look far back on my channel and like shorts and stuff, is a similar sized plant to the year that I grew the 100-pounder. Maybe it's slightly bigger, but having more beetles on this one because I don't want to use merit in my garden that I eat food from. But went in with that organic spray. You can see a flower right there. You get a bee. They like to sleep in there. I think those guys are alive. I don't know. But smaller plant, not really doing anything, not vine bearing. Taking longer to get a pumpkin set. But here's a little one, so we'll see how that does. And then here's another one right here if we need. Got some potatoes. Tomatoes are doing really good. These 3, 1, 2, 3 are my giant tomatoes. These are actually cuttings. If you look on my channel a while back, I had a short about a hydroponic giant tomato. that I grew at school, and because I go to like this technical campus. So I had a hydroponic giant tomato that I grew, and these are actually cuttings that I rooted and planted, and they're doing quite well. So 1, 2, 3 here. However, I think I'm gonna pass on the giants this year. That plant, there's just no megas on these, so I'll just eat them if I get any good ones off of it, the Domingo. However, next year, these are all heirlooms. Got Siciliano, Rosso Siciliano. These 4 are all Tasmanian chocolate is the name of them, and you can get them on Johnny's Seeds. I was looking at these. It's known for like a shorter plant, so if I can put some Domingo strain into these guys, that would look right here. I found this. That is a pretty decent mega bloom. I just shake it a little to pollinate it. Now I don't know how. It also seems to split right there. That might be why. But they're stockier plants. They're known to be. So if I can get this thing to like grow larger, I might try to grow a giant tomato on one of those. But we'll see. Peas, cucumbers, all the good stuff. Zucchini. Got some Italian beans. Oh shoot, he just turned the sprinkler on. I'm gonna get wet. Peppers. But yeah, that's how I water back at the patch as well. I run the sprinkler for about like an hour. Sometimes I turn it off, forget to turn it off. But yeah, pretty happy overall with this. I'm surprised that pumpkin's not running with this, but we'll see. I'm just yapping, aren't I? I've been feeding this same mixture, a little lighter. This is probably just gonna be a porch pumpkin. A couple 100-pounder probably, but I guess we'll see. So, apologies for kind of the shitty video quality. I'm trying to be more consistent with this, but I'm kind of in the process of like deciding which way off do I want to attend, what do I need to be feeding. I'm kind of just falling behind on some of this stuff, vine burying, weeding. But you know who else doesn't vine bury? Dave and Carol Stelts, and they grew a 2,700-pound pumpkin. So, what do you know? But I'm not Dave and Carol Stelts, am I? Sorry, I just talk. It's just like I'm talking to myself in these. Hope it's interesting. But yeah, back at the pumpkin patch. Fairly happy with how it's going. It's outpacing last year, but I'm a week later. So yeah. Come on, camera. Oh my God. Sorry if that made you dizzy, but yeah, I'm out at the pumpkin again. I turn off this fan right here. I turn it off at nighttime because it's been getting a little chilly at night, and I don't want to like slow its growth or anything. But hey, I think that's going to be today's update. Please, if there's anything more specific that you guys want to see, or if you're wondering, reach out in the comments. I'll let you know what I'm doing. Honestly, the main thing I've been doing recently is just vine management. But yeah, that's how it's been going. If you want to see anything else, there's like a decorative pumpkin garden that's growing real slow. Long gourds never took off, so we're scrapping those this year. Cut flower garden is growing really slow as well. But yeah. Oh, one more thing actually. So right here on the pumpkin, I was like measuring it, or I was taking the towel off and I stabbed it with my thumb, which is that right there. It's healed over very nicely. It doesn't look like it's getting much bigger, and it's staying in the same place. So hopefully as this thing grows and expands, then, oh my God, why camera stabilizer? No. Sorry guys, sorry. Hopefully as this thing grows and expands, it'll stay in the same place, and we're still in contention for Howard Dill. You can see a little view back there. Look how long that stem is. That's crazy. But yeah. God, jeez. Oh my god, this freaking stabilizer. Thank you guys so much for watching. Apologize for my messy hair. I just woke up. But yeah. Again, let me know if there's anything you want to see. Thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe to follow along. I'll see y'all later.